domestic
That's
a domestic violence relationship. But we men, so we don't know that. We don't know that if somebody just get up and start, hey, I didn't like, hey, you got a text I didn't like, I'm burning all your clothes. That's domestic violence.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but he's 100% right. You know, we let things like that slide. A woman would get up, burn your clothes, cut your clothes up, slap you, do all types of wild stuff, and we deal with it. We don't put our foot down. We don't say that's not acceptable. You know, I'm not saying all the time you got to run to the police. What I'm saying is you need to leave the situation. You need to get out of that house ASAP. And the consequence to it is never, ever come back. Teach your sons that. Teach your sons that. If a woman puts her hands on you, you don't have to be the one to be super aggressive. If it gets to a point where you can't leave or she's putting you in your back is to the corner, you could overpower her by possibly giving her a nice little bear hug. You could do something along those lines. But don't hit her, get out that house, and never, ever come back. Leave that alone. Trust me, fellas, when I tell you, it's something that a lot of us go through over and over again. And I don't think the movies are portraying this right, because you see it in these Tyler Perry movies where these women be beating the crap out of the man coming out the bathtub and she's hitting him with a belt, throwing oil on the floor. What is that doing to the mind of a young girl who's entering the world and trying to join into a relationship, into the dating market? In her mind, she's thinking that I could do this to my man if he makes me mad. If he makes me mad, and guess what? The mindset is you better not hit me back. You better not put your hands on me. Fellas, that is a form of DV. It's a form of DV. We got Big Ward in the building. What up, man? How you doing, my brother, man? Good to see you on the side. It is good to see you on the side. We got to put in some work together soon. That's what's up, man. It's good to see my guy. Everyone, if you're watching this now or on the replay, please go over to Big Ward's channel and subscribe. I love his content. The man is real. The brother speaks the real. Go over to that channel and subscribe. Good looking, man. Shout outs to you, my guy. But fellas, do not let these women put their hands on you. So let's keep going.
So when I attempt to stop you from burning my clothes and I hurt your wrist by mistake, and you say, oh, it's like, now it's something new to defend. But what we don't know as men is because we get abused
all the time.
And it's not really a place to have.
But what's crazy
I had an incident one time where me and a lady broke up, and I took the phone back that I bought and was actually.
And that right there is considered abuse. In case you fellas don't know, if a woman takes your phone, your property, and you go to grab that out of her hand, that is considered DV. Fellas, it's not even worth it. It doesn't matter what's on that phone. It doesn't matter what, you may have, it doesn't matter if you spent your last dollar on that phone. Leave it there. Call the police and let the police make her give you back that phone. If she breaks it, the likelihood is it was over $1,000 that phone cost, the value of it. So you can make sure you can get that money back from her somehow, or you can make sure she serves a little bit of time. But it's not worth it to grab that phone and try to show her justice. It'll only backfire on you every time, fellas. Every time. I don't know if y'all fathers are not telling y'all this. Take it from a Negro on the internet. I'm telling you this. Let it go. Call the police. If that's not the situation and you realize things are getting escalated, walk out the door. She puts her hands on you, don't give her a second chance.
Actively paying the bill on charges. Charges brought up.
So you stole the phone. There you go.
I didn't know that.
Grand larceny.
I learned.
You just
that.
gotta cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that you can't take the phone. You gotta cut it off.
But I didn't know that. So that was a lesson. It's like, oh, okay. If there's a dispute, you can't touch the phone, even if you bought it or got it. I've been in another instance where you have to leave your house.
Yeah. Yes. Which
It's
is
your house.
It's your house.
You pay the bills.
Well, you pay the bills. You pay the
You
rent.
paying her bills, too.
Yeah, yeah. But you have to
But
walk
you
out.
have to go. And that's a tough lesson for black men. And if you've been in that enough, you learn the best way to keep yourself safe is to leave.
Like I said, fellas, leave. Leave. Don't sit down, try to fight for something back. There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove. It's just you and her. It's not worth it. Almost 95% of the time, the law will take her side. And this is because I got all boys. I got 3 boys. I'll be damned if I'm raising my 3 boys to end up ruining their lives because some chick decided to take the phone because they're insecure and they want to see what's in it. And then they're trying to fight for their phone, or, they don't want to leave the house. Get out the house. It don't matter. The police can sort all of that out later. It's better that you leave, come back with the police. If this is the case, this is just y'all in the dating world. You leave, call the police, come back with the police. This way they're not coming to the house while you're there. Now the interpretation could be anything, right? I don't know what's happening. All I got was a phone call. What's going on? They're trying to sort it out. You naturally, probably a big dude, you're naturally going to be the aggressor. So this is why I say be very mindful when you're dealing with these women and how you move with them. Think about it. Think about it. Fellas, if you have sons, talk to your sons. Ladies, if you have daughters, tell your daughters to keep their hands to themselves. Just because they are a woman does not give them the right to hit a man. Because not every man has restraint. Not every man could keep his hands back to himself. There might be a point where a dude falls off the edge. The likelihood is your daughter cannot beat a man. So if that's the case, she knows she's a woman before she hits the man. Don't hit the man. Teach your daughters femininity. Teach your daughters femininity. A feminine woman would never do that. That's just junk. Let's get active in the comments, y'all. Let's talk about this. A feminine woman will not do that from the jump. So if you're teaching your daughters a level of femininity, men, teach your sons the highest level of restraint, how to walk away, how to not deal with people like that, how to automatically see the signs before they start coming. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, the way that this works, right? A lot of women would do this. When you first start a relationship, it's always a test, right? They'll usually test you in the beginning, right? They'll do something and playfully slap you in the back of your head. How many of y'all fellas been through that? How many of y'all fellas been through that? Yo, blockchain. He said, yo, I teach my sons to hit whoever hits them. All right, listen. Perfect world that is great. Oh, unless they are in a relationship. Oh, yeah. When you out on the streets, and some chicks be wilding nowadays, we all know you go out there, these chicks be bugging. So yeah, man, they be in their packs trying to jump men. Then they get floored, they get a tooth knocked out, and they wonder why. Hey, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. In a relationship, fellas, that restraint means everything. See the signs, like I was saying. It'll start off playful taps. You know, they used to call them, I don't know if the new generation calls them love taps. Let me know in the comments. I've been out the dating scene for a while. But if the new generation calls it love taps, women just boom, tap you. Stop playing, boom, slap you in your face. They might get a little aggressive, might punch you in your chest. You will tend to say, oh, she's just joking. She's smaller than me. She can't beat me. But I'm going to tell you, fellas, it gets worse. It gets worse. Because then now it's, who's that bitch you're texting? Oh no, I'm not texting anybody. Let me see your phone. No, I'm not gonna let you see my phone. I'll pay for this phone. I'm not gonna just give you my phone. Give me your phone. No, I'm not giving you my phone. Then she starts to reach over for that phone. Now we are starting to talk about a DV case, right? Simple assault is easy to fight. A DV case is a lot harder. That's a good one, blockchain. That is a real good one right there. That is a good one. Shout outs to you, my guy. What's good? What is good in the building? So a DV case is a lot harder to fight. So like I was saying, now it turns into, give me that cell phone. She starts to reach for the cell phone. You pull your cell phone. You pull your hand away like, yo, this is my phone. I pay for my phone. Stop touching my phone. All of a sudden it turns into, yo, give me your phone. That love tap actually turns to that actual slap. What happens then, fellas? What do you do? What do you do? No one's saying to just let a woman slap you. And that's the problem that we have, right? We have a lot of people that feel like it's okay, right? If she hits me, it didn't hurt that bad. It wasn't like a man that just came up and clocked you. But believe it or not, these women's backs are really big. So when they hit you, sometimes that force can be similar to a man. So with that being said, fellas, sometimes you might have to put it in a little restraint. But I'm going to also advise you this. Those little restraints can get you in a lot of trouble. Like he said, you grab her arm, stop hitting me. That is a problem. You give her a bear hug, she falls on the floor. That could be a problem, right? Things start breaking around the house because there's a lot of movement, a lot of back and forth. And you know what I'm saying? You bumping into dresses and things falling down and assault, right? DV. Now, guess what? It's too late for you. It's too late for you. If you in New York, you end up in the central bookings. Too late. This is why I say, fellas, be mindful of these women that you're dealing with. Pay attention to the signs early on. The playful hits start and you really are into this woman, you let her know, if you do that again, you will never see me again. And I'm serious. I'm looking dead in the camera for this one. Actually, let me make myself a little bigger for this one. If you do that to me again, I promise you, you will never see me again. If you do that to me again, I have no problem calling the law. Those little playful love, quote unquote, love taps that women like to give could turn out a problem in the future. And it's because that's what they're used to. There's no fathers telling them, hey, listen, little girl, keep your hands to yourself. Touch no man. Listen, little girl, that's a man. He's a lot bigger than you. He's a lot stronger than you. You touch him, you might not get up again if he touch you back. So teach your sons to leave. You leave. Teach your daughters, keep their hands to themselves. Fellas, if you are initiating the problem, you're the problem. And this is what we are talking about. My guy says, he says, like my dad always told me, if you feel like you got to put your hands on a woman, get the fuck away from her. That's a fact. That is a fact. If you ever feel like you're in a situation where you got to put your hands on a woman, get away from that woman. Don't play around with her. Don't play around. I spent some time on that topic because I believe it's super important. It's super important. Too many of us young brothers that work hard, that try to make it in life, we end up at the bottom because we chose to deal with the wrong woman. Like we said, me and Big Ward was talking about this on his channel. If you meet a good woman can elevate you to the next levels of life. If it's the wrong woman, man, she'll drag you through the mud. She would bury you. I've seen men get buried to the point of no return. We're talking about to the point of like he couldn't even get a job anymore because of a record that was put on him. All he could do was deliver packages, could never figure out his way. There's no business ideas in his mind because, of all of the trauma that he went through dealing with these type of women. And I'm specifically today talking to the fellas. It's not a masculine thing to put yourself and keep yourself in situations that don't serve you.